It had been a time since we had explored abandoned buildings, let alone sought them out. It seemed strange coming back home to do the very thing that had me leaving home so many years before. I had heard about the Crone's home since high school. She had been alive at the time, but I don't remember it looking too much different than what it now looked. Perhaps the paint was more like the vanilla white down on the porch's level of siding. Perhaps there had not been so much growth on the left side chimney. This was my first exploration without my team. They had each other they had each either retired from the hobby as well, or were involved with their own paths and YouTube channels. It wasn't the first time doing abandoned exploration where I felt a certain sense about a place which either invited or refused. In fact, every building, even every place, for we had explored a few abandoned mines, railroad tracks, bridges, sent out a sense of foreboding, mystery, sadness, kindness, warmth. It varied widely from place to place. The Crone's home provided a sense of sad welcome. This was contrary to the rumors spread by adrenaline hormoned, peer pressured high schoolers, of course, and my high school self had never felt welcome seeing it from the road. As I neared the house now, though, I could not shake the sense of sorrowful welcome. The porch seemed to want someone to sit on it. The upstairs porch also seemed to lean out longingly, missing the presence of human company. The chimneys were bored and cold, wondering if fire existed in the world any longer, or if they had outlived the phenomenon. With one foot on the porch, I stopped. You were a loved house. I'm sorry that no one lived in you after your owner passed away. Thank you. A breeze rose up and around. Would you like to come live with me? I looked around. Aside from the dreary November mist and cloying chill, there was nothing to cause discomfort. There was no apparent source of this strong communicating voice. I had never experienced such mind speak. I don't have any money. A shame. In an instant, I jumped back at what sounded almost like firecrackers at first, until I realized that it was the sound of wood cracking and snapping. The roof on the house was caving in at an unnatural pace. The windows shattered with terrifying cries, and the chimney bricks crumbled out from each other. I had run a good way toward the road by now, turning around just in time again to see the last porch railing fall into the tall grass below. And this photo was a photo by the Instagram account named Southern Ruins. And I just thought this was a kind of a cool, like, I don't know. I've been watching Exploring with Josh a couple times, and this this of course is something that he does. He just explores abandoned places. So I kind of had that his YouTube channel in mind when I saw this, and kind of wanted to run with it a little bit. But so and yeah, I just kind of liked the autumn feel. It just reminds me of November, and you can I'm definitely kind of ready for autumn to be around. Not that I don't love summer. I do love summer and I do love gardening. But there is something that summer just becomes very exhausting after a while. You know, like as much as I really enjoy being outside, and I love, love, love not having to put on a coat or winter boots and all of that jazz. So there's nothing wrong with summer. I love summer. It's just it does become a little bit exhausting. And I'm not sure if it's kind of just a northern climate mentality, but for me, living in the northern climate, I do recognize that different seasons provide different opportunities and different energies. And I I have experienced, all of us in the northern climates, we experience these different transitions and what each season offers. So when I say I'm kind of exhausted of summer, it's not that I don't love summer. It's just that I know that fall and winter provide a certain calmness and stillness that summer does not. Um, so that's all I mean by that, I guess. I'm enjoying a fresca and rum tonight. So, yeah, coffee and contemplation is for morning, and relaxation and rum is for the evening. But I don't know. So I've been just kind of reflecting on the different patterns of writing or patterns of my habits that work for me, such as waking up at 6 a.m., and which ones don't, such as not waking up at 6 a.m. No. uh, so yeah, I've just been kind of thinking about that lately because when I was doing my habit tracking with my dot journal, I I kind of stopped doing that now, but when I was doing it for like a couple months there, I noticed that I was writing when I woke up around 6. And just kind of lately, I've kind of, when I've stopped doing the dot journaling, and I've also kind of stopped waking up at 6 a.m. Just, I don't know, old habits, I guess. I don't know. I've noticed again, like, I haven't been writing every day. So, yeah, like today and the couple, like yesterday, I think. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I think it's Monday. Um, but I woke up at around 6 a.m. and I did get some writing done. And I don't know what it is about just falling back into old habits that obviously don't work. Like I've understood. Well, maybe I haven't truly understood, but now I truly understand because I saw myself fall back into the old pattern that not that waking up past 6 or more specifically around 7 a.m. I don't get any writing done. Like it's just too stressful. Like I need that calm, like kind of like waking up period, and I need to take a shower and all that jazz, and there's just not enough time before work. Um, so I'm kind of in this little transition part where my past self when I was doing my habit tracker, I learned that, okay, so this works. And now since I stopped like adhering to that 6 a.m., now I'm realizing, okay, well this truly does work because now I'm not doing that and now I'm not getting much writing done. So that's been eye-opening for me, and it's encouraging to me to know that I can set a plan and I have a 90% chance of it working. So, I guess with that, I'm wondering what patterns work for you guys, and why do you think they work and why do you think they don't work? And if you don't really have an answer for that, I guess have you sat down and hashed it out with yourself yet? Like I didn't do this until like recently, like within the last couple months. I didn't know. Really. I didn't really understand that. I mean, I kind of had an idea that I write more when I wake up earlier, but I didn't really sit down and hash it out with myself. I just kind of had this idea that, yeah, mornings are my time, but I didn't set a plan and I didn't really hash it out. And so I'm just wondering if there's anything that maybe you guys would work for you guys, and if you haven't figured that out yet, maybe it's time to kind of sit down with yourself and hash it out with yourself. And I definitely don't mean that in like a condescending, like, teacher-esque kind of way. I just I just know from personal experience now that it's just so important to figure this stuff out for us to get writing done, because that's what it all comes down to is why are we if you are a type of writer who is having trouble writing every day or writing very often, even though you love writing and it's something you consider yourself to be, and like it's part of who you are innately, and yet maybe you're not doing it. It's just it could be so it's so beneficial. It has been for me anyway to just kind of figure this stuff out. And it does get a little messy, but I mean that's what journaling is for, and that's what just kind of self-discovery is all about. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about or ashamed of. It's just a matter of getting getting more words down on the page, you know? So I guess I had to take another drink. Um, so my goal is still to finish my first draft of Everbound by the end of the year. Is it possible? I just sat down again right before this episode and I decided, you know what? I don't know if it's actually possible. I want it to be possible. So what I actually just did is I counted each of the chapters and the letters that I still need to write. And then I Googled how many weeks are left in the year. So we have 19 weeks left in this year as of Monday. What is today, honestly? Oh, okay. As of Sunday, August 11th, we have 19 weeks left in this year. And I have 22 chapters left and 26 letters to write of varying lengths. So some of those letters in the story don't have to be, 500 page or 500 page. Hope not. Oh my good gravy. 500 letter, you know, letter, 500 word letter or whatever. But I mean, that's 22 chapters in 19 weeks. And the 26 letters. So, and letters, I feel like that's not going to be as difficult to get like the first draft of those done, because for me, writing in first person is a lot easier than writing in third person. It's just very, like, it just feels a lot more, just easier. I don't know. Um, but 22 and 26 in 19 weeks. Holy smokes. Now, it seems a lot more daunting than it could be, question mark, because I know summer is going to wind down and my creativity is going to wind up. Um, like right now, I have so many peas and beans, and the tomatoes are going to start popping off, and we have cucumbers starting, and it's just crazy right now. And yeah, blackberries are needing to be picked in the woods and all of this jazz. And so summer will eventually no longer be. And that will give us, I'm thinking of just Ron's time too, my partner Ron. I'm thinking I was just thinking about him too. It'll give him time too to be creative. But yes, we will both be creative, have more time to be creative once summer is done. So there is that. I do think that it's possible for me to reach my goal. I'm not losing hope. I mean, 19 weeks versus 22 chapters and 26 letters. Eh, it's still a lot, but it's still possible. I just need to buckle down, I guess. So I guess what is one way that you all get yourself to buckle down when you have a deadline, whether you're a full-time student or maybe you're working full-time or both or neither or whatever the case may be. please comment below with tidbits on how you figure out a way to get done the words or pages or goals that you have in general. I'm very curious, and I'm sure others would be curious about what you guys do. As this isn't about me, I just kind of want, I want to create an environment of helpfulness and encouragement for all of us, because we're all in the same understanding and kind of, we're all the writing community. We're all in it together. So I guess to kind of wrap this up, because I've been rambling a little bit, is just to leave with something a little inspiring. Yesterday, I was able to watch the PBS documentary called, it was based on the book Arctic Daughter, A Wilderness Journey, and it's by Jean Aspin. She said something in her documentary that this is what inspired me the most. And she said a lot of things that did, but this is one that really stood out to me. She said that how our life journey proceeds, or what our life journey consists of, is not something that we discover, but it's something that we create. And I just found that incredibly profound and incredibly helpful, not just as a writer, but as a human being. Like, I think some of us kind of have this idea that, you kind of have to, I don't know, like push through this jungle of what works and what doesn't, and oh, okay, and there's this just continuous flow, and you're meeting with fog, and but you're still on this path and discovering things along the way. But there's another element that can make our lives so much more enriching. And I'm not one to talk because I'm not quite there yet. I'm not where Jean Aspin is or was. But the idea of, rather than this idea of discovering your life, rather than discovering, creating. So that just really, I don't know, that just really helped me. And it just kind of made me think about, well, obviously it made me think about just life in general, and thinking about it in a different way. But it made me think about writing, because writing has always been a central point and part of who I am. And it just made me question whether I'm truly taking it as seriously as I should be. And I know the simple and true answer is no, I'm not. A resounding no. Even though, I do this and that here and there, it's not a central point in my life. And it's made me wonder, why is this the case? And what can I do to change this? So these are questions I'm asking myself and trying to figure out. So with that, I will end this episode, and I hope this has encouraged you all in some way. If it has, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, the notification button, leave a comment. These are the only ways that I know that anyone is paying attention, enjoys, etc., etc. So I guess you all know the drill, but I would really appreciate some feedback, good or bad, I guess. Ready or not. But seriously, yeah, if you want to submit a writing prompt idea, whether it's a written prompt, or I haven't really done a written prompt in a while, have I? I don't think I have at all? Question mark? I'm not sure. A written prompt or a visual prompt, just email me or comment below or get in touch somehow. So, yeah, thanks so much for listening, and hope to see you around. Keep pausing to write.